Hi everyone, happy Wednesday. Welcome to my live. I'm Missy from Wellness with Missy, and today is day 3 of the 5 Days to Better Health Challenge. I am excited for everyone who's been joining in. I really appreciate it. I love to celebrate health and wellness, and it also is my birthday month. Next week is my birthday, and so today I will be sharing with you mindfully eating tips. Today is all about dark leafy greens. I also will share my everyday green smoothie recipe. It was frozen and I don't know, it doesn't really look that great, but it tastes very good. And then I also will share with you my favorite blender that I've shared before. It actually is on sale as well. If you have any questions, you're welcome to leave them below or DM me at any time. And yeah, so that is what's going on. I really appreciate everyone joining me today on my live and everyone who's participating in the 5 Days to Better Health Challenge. Thank you so much for everyone who's joining me today. So I said earlier what I'm going to do is share with you about mindfully eating. When we started out the 5 Days to Better Health Challenge, day 1 was all about deep breathing, and I shared with you 3 easy breathing techniques that you can incorporate into everyday wellness. And one of them I just also shared about taking deep breaths before you eat. And that is just so beneficial because first of all, it allows you to become more present, and that is really what mindfully eating is about. Mindfulness is being like fully present in what you're doing without judgment, and we are just always on the go, so much going on all the time, that when you really take some time and be present, especially when you're eating, it will help you so much with your digestion. It allows your body to get into a relaxed state and be able to rest and digest your food. And when you're just more mindfully eating, it is such a great experience to be able to really taste your food, the smell of your food, enjoying the texture, and so many benefits, not only, as I said, about with your digestion, but just being present, but the ability to really enjoy what you're eating. So some of my tips with that, I will go into more detail. I also talk about dark leafy greens because that is what today is. Does someone have a question? Yes, thank you. Everything is going well. Thank you for joining me today. Yeah, so the dark leafy greens too, I will share simple tips to incorporating those into all of your meals, and I have a green smoothie recipe that I will share, but I also will leave it below in case you watch this later, and then my favorite blender. So back to mindfully eating, the best thing to do is, first of all, is that always before you eat, just to set a placemat. It's just so essential to like sit down and really experience eating and being fully present. And I usually like to use my favorite placemat and dishes and glasses and all that kind of stuff. It really does make a difference. So if there's things that you love, just bring them out and use it. Don't wait for a special occasion. Just enjoy it. And I usually sit down and I will just take 3 deep breaths, and I'm usually very present and being very grateful for not only the food that I'm about to eat, but all the people and the places and the things that brought that food in my way. And once you just get into the state of gratitude, no matter what, it just really shifts your energy into being more calm and present. So I usually do that. And then also when you're eating, it is great to just take a forkful at a time and really chew your food like 20, 30 times. And just enjoy like the texture, the smell of your food, the colors of your food. You guys know how much I love to talk about eating the rainbow and having all of whole food plant-based foods and really looking at the texture of your food and enjoying it. And it's very helpful too to put your fork down in between your chewing your bites and just really being present without distractions, no phone, no TV, no other things going on, just being present. And if you are having lunch with someone else, and both of you being present and talking with each other. And then I think that it's just really essential to just incorporating in that deep breathing. Then when you're done eating, I always like to also sit for a few minutes and just being calm, sitting And then I usually do go for a walk after I eat too. I had learned it's such a helpful technique to help with digestion as well. But when you're really mindful when you're eating and present, it's really so good for your well-being and not being in a stressful place when you eat, because you are taking in all the food, and when you're present and really enjoying what you're eating in a peaceful state, everything will digest better and all that kind of good stuff. So those are my mindfully eating tips, and it brings in that deep breathing technique, which I usually just sit and take 3 deep breaths before I eat, and I'm grateful for all of my food, and I'm just really fully present, and it really makes such a difference. I'm not always perfect at that. I definitely have to sometimes remind myself, as I'll start to be eating mindlessly, and I'll say to myself, you need to really become present, and it makes just such a difference. And I know we always just feel like we have so much going on, we don't have the time to really be present when we're eating, but I just encourage you to give it a try, and if you do, let me know if you notice the difference as well. And then today, Day 3 is about adding in more dark leafy greens. You guys know how much I love my greens, and there are just so many ways that you can incorporate them into your everyday meals. Everything, obviously, having a smoothie, putting in there kale and spinach. I will share this recipe with you shortly. You can also add dark greens to your pizza. You can add it to pasta. Last night I made a kale and chickpea soup, so you can add it to your soups. You could do so much stuff with dark leafy greens, adding them into all of your everyday meals, and especially before, like any meal that you're eating, I always like to suggest just adding in more greens. Like make a big salad with whatever you're eating. Make a bunch of spinach or kale or dandelion root, whatever it is, on the side of what you're eating, and it's a perfect way to get in more of those dark leafy greens into your everyday meals. They are a powerhouse. They are packed with vitamins, nutrients, antioxidants, protein, all of the good stuff. It helps with your clear glowing skin, your digestion, your microbiome, everything. So if you can work on adding more of daily dark leafy greens to your everyday meals, you will definitely be seeing the difference, I promise. And also, what was I going to? Oh, and you can also make kale chips. I definitely shared a recipe about that. I do get a lot of questions about greens, because sometimes I will also add in, like, to my smoothies, cilantro or parsley, and those herbs are like packed with so much goodness, and it's a great way to add them into your smoothies. You can also add it on top of your salad. You can add them to a soup, and I usually get a lot of questions about how to add in more greens to your meals, and those are the easiest ways that you can, and it's not really that complicated. And another thing too is sprouts. You can grow your own sprouts at home. I have to actually get back to doing that. I was splitting my time between my 2 houses, and I used to bring them back and forth, but I need to get back on doing that. But making your own sprouts are so easy to do, and they are packed with so much goodness, so much protein and vitamins and nutrients, and you can make them at home, and from these little seeds you get tons of them. And adding sprouts to your salads, to your soups, even your smoothies is another way to add that goodness in. And also the other thing, it's very essential and important to rotate your greens. So I know I love spinach and I love kale, but I definitely incorporate different greens in, and also microgreens. I see those a lot now, and it's awesome because a lot of the food stores, they carry all different types now, so it's a great way to pick up different greens that you can add into your salad, whatever your base is that you normally use to make your salad. You can add in these microgreens, and like watercress, that is another great one to add to your smoothies, because they have a lot of water in them, but they're also really good for your skin. So those are my tips with eating dark leafy greens. And then the smoothie recipe I was sharing earlier, I had made this. It was frozen, and I don't really know what happened, but it doesn't really look that good right now, but I will share what it's inside of it. It has spinach, and it has kale, it has a little banana, avocado, mango, pineapple, and hemp seed, chia seeds, ginger, lemon, and cilantro in this one. This is, I kind of call it my green detox smoothie recipe. It's one of my favorite ones to go to because it's a little sweet, and then it has a spicy ginger and it has cilantro. So you definitely do taste that a little bit, but it's a good base to just always start with like spinach and kale, and if you're not used to that as of yet, you can add a little bit more fruit, but you always want to just kind of keep the fruit maybe like to a cup or a cup and a half of fruit, and then mostly greens. And once you start having more greens in your everyday meals, I'm telling you, your taste buds will change and you will love it, and you will start to crave that more than other stuff. I had heard that before. I experienced it myself, but it is very, very true. So I encourage you to do that. And then I also share so many easy to make recipes at Wellness with Missy. And if you would like to have a copy of my 5 Days to Better Health ebook, it does come with a 6-day plant-based vegan meal plan, shopping guide, meal prep guide. So just sign up in the link in my bio and I will send you a free copy of it. And what else was I going to share today? So that's the recipe. I will leave it down below so if you'd like to try it. And the last is my favorite blender. This is the Optimum G6, I think it's called. It's by Frothy, and it is a high-speed blender, and it works so amazing. It is a commercial blender. It has 6 blades instead of 4, and this thing literally does everything. I use this maybe like at least twice a day, if not more. And what I love about it too is that it has this really like just sleek design, but everything on the top, it's all computerized. So it already has settings in here. So when I make my smoothies, I usually use the smoothie button. I will run my smoothie 2 times because it's 45 seconds each, but I like to have my smoothie run a little bit longer. But I make my soups in here, so you can easily make like carrot, ginger, lemon soup, all kinds of soups in here. I make also my avocado basil or avocado kale pesto in here. You can make sorbet, nice cream in here, vegetables, and we'll chop it like if you want to just get that kind of chopped vegetable, you can just put that in there. And then I make a ton of nut butters in here too. I shared how much I love my Baruca nuts, and I will make Baruca butter in here, even though the Baruca butter that they make is so good. I sometimes don't have it in my house because it goes so quickly, so I will make us Baruca butter, and you can make nut butters in here. Like, it's amazing. It starts making the nut butter and you don't think it's going to get nice and smooth, but it eventually does. It takes a little while, but like any time you make the nut butter, it does take a while. But I love this blender so much, and it is actually on sale now. They're having a sale. It's usually like a $600 blender or something like that, but it's on sale now for $279. I will leave a link in my stories, and there is also a link in my bio of products that I love and share with you guys that I use, and there is an affiliate link attached to it. So I definitely appreciate your support always, all the time. I only share things I personally love and use, and this blender is just one of my favorites. It's always with me, and I actually have 2 of them. I bought another one for my other house, but it is a great blender, and you also have like 30 days to try it out if you'd like. But I literally use this thing 2 to 3 times a day for all different stuff, and I have not ran into any problems. And I've probably been using it for about like 2 years now, so I highly recommend it. I love it. So if you have any questions, you're always welcome to message me and DM me them. And let's see, I think that's about it. I hope that everyone's enjoying this little challenge about celebrating health and wellness and adding all of these things into your everyday. And my intention is really to share with you simple and easy plant-based recipes, but also mindfulness practices, everyday lifestyle wellness tips that you can gain inspiration from and turn them into what works for you. But as far as for this week, we on Monday learned about the deep breathing techniques, and it's saved to my profile. If you missed it, you could go and check it out. But I shared 3 breathing techniques that I like to just find very easy. Deep belly breathing, there was the box breathing, and then also the breathe to relax breathing techniques. So you can check that out if you'd like. And then yesterday was all about staying hydrated. It is just so essential to stay hydrated. And one of my friend's followers, she was saying that you definitely notice, like when you start to really drink a lot of water every day, that when you are maybe not drinking as much that day, it's something how our bodies like kind of remind us that we need to be hydrated. So sometimes even if you're feeling like a little tired, or maybe you have a headache or feeling a little low on energy, if you really drink some water, I'm sure it will probably help out. It usually does for me, and I love to just add like lemon or lime to my water. And I was sharing my tips about, you know, always having like a very cute maybe glass water bottle that you have with you, and then also about putting, if you buy the it's a blue glass bottle. I had learned this from the book Super Life by Darren O'Lean that I read like a long time ago, and it talks about putting the water in a blue glass jar, and you leave it out in the sun, and it energizes the water and all this kind of good stuff. And I really just believe that it works, and I love it. There's just something about, I always usually like to leave my water in the sun and drink it. I just feel like I'm getting so much good energy from the water being from the sun rays. But so I shared that and some other tips, but that also is saved to my profile if you'd like to check that out. And then today was all about dark leafy greens. I'll leave the smoothie recipe below. And then tomorrow we will talk about home cooked meals. I know that everyone, sometimes they feel like, oh, I can't make my own stuff. It's so hard, it's so difficult, and all that kind of stuff. But believe me, I was definitely that person. I never made anything, and I used to be traveling all the time, eating out all the time. But once I started to realize how amazing the whole food plant-based foods were, and how much I started to feel so much better, I started to sleep better, my skin started to clear up, and all these things I taught myself to cook. And I also have shared about the non-toxic pots and pans and things that I use. I use my caraway stuff. It's non-toxic, non-stick. That's also is very essential to be aware of, like when you are making your home cooked meals, like the pots and pans that you are using. So I will share a little bit more about that tomorrow. And then Friday is all about movement, mindful movement, doing some form of exercise every day. And the thing is with exercise, it's like you have to find out what works best for you, because that's the one that you're going to do. And especially like we sit so much. I used to be in retail. I used to own a bunch of clothing stores. So I would be constantly moving around all day and moving boxes and clothing and all that kind of stuff. But now in the last, 5 or 6 years, I work online. So I always have to really intentionally make sure, I always have my workout in the morning, but during the day when I'm sitting for like an hour and a half, I usually set alarms on my phone so I can remind myself to go for a walk or get up and stretch or something like that. So I'll talk more about that on Friday. And there also, if you did get a copy of the 5 Days to Better Health ebook, there is the 6-day plant-based meal plan in there. And if you want a copy, just sign up in the link in my bio and I will send you a free copy of it. Thank you so much for everyone who joined me today. Does anyone have any questions? Let me see. Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me. Okay, great. So I send lots of love and light. Thank you so much. I hope that you found some helpful tips and inspiration here today. And I will see you guys next time on my live. Stay tuned. I'll be sharing the post in a little while with this recipe and everything. So, but thank you so much. Sending lots of love and light. Have a good day. Bye everyone.